Hello everybody, my name is the Doctor, and today we're going to be talking about another new weapon in the 2.0 update of Splatoon 3, which is the Big Swig Roller. Other than the fact that I just figured out that it's called the Big Swig because it's got a giant cup attached with bendy straw that feeds the ink to the roller. Something I want to point out about the Big Swig Roller that I have not seen with any other roller, at least to this extent, is the fact that the Big Swig Roller, when you swing it horizontally, it actually, well, I can't remember if it's swing horizontally, but definitely when you're holding it normally, it's very short, the roller part. But when you roll it, it's extremely long. It stretches out. The Big Swig stretches out to the right size. Another thing about the Big Swig Roller I thought I should mention is when you are rolling, how wide the ink trail is depends on how fast you're going. And I have this right here. You should see it on your screen. When you go super slow, it has a shorter range than even the carbon roller for its rolling mode. Or it's got almost an octobrush length. But as you go faster and faster, it gets wider and wider, and eventually it gets to the point where it's wider than a dynamo. So it's pretty cool. It's got some weird usefulness to it. Now, the problem with the Big Swig Roller is its damage. Its damage kind of sucks. It's damage for its roll, which you would assume would be an instant kill because it's just giant. No, it's only 70. So basically it's like a carbon where you have to hit them twice. But the problem is it's not as fast as a carbon. It's fast, sure, but it's not as fast as a carbon. And it can't kill with a horizontal swing either, which is, I think this is the only roller that can't kill with a horizontal swing at all. Because its maximum damage when you hit a horizontal swing is 70. So yeah, you could do a combo where you do the horizontal swing and then move forward and run over somebody, but you have to be practically kissing them for that to work. So its horizontal swing really sucks, and it's slow. Not super slow, but it's slow. And its vertical swing can do 40 to 120 damage, which is good if the 100 plus damage hitbox wasn't super short. It barely goes past your roller. You have to practically whack them in the head and give them a concussion to get them to take 100 damage, let alone 120. And yeah, it has a lot of range. That's cool for getting out of places. Yeah, it makes great paths. It's a great path maker, but it doesn't do enough to accommodate for the rolling mode being prevalent. You know, if they wanted the rolling mode, if they wanted a roller that the rolling mode is supposed to work on, they need the roll to do 100 damage, at least. Because it doesn't make sense for the roll to be the main way you play the weapon. It doesn't make sense for it if it doesn't do 100 damage. And I will say, it isn't very fun to play. It's a very turf war focused weapon. Like, if you are a beginning Splatoon player, go ahead. You'll probably need 3 licenses to unlock it, but it really sucks even if you get a little bit into the game. I think during the beginning of the game when you're first learning how to paint, sure, go for it. But other than that, I don't think it's going to have a use at all. I don't think it's going to be viable in competitions. I don't think it's going to be viable in ranked. I don't think it's going to be viable in anything. But this is a series on how to play the weapon. So I'm going to try my absolute darndest to tell you how to play the weapon to the best of its ability, despite the fact I don't think it's going to have any function. The kit for this weapon is good for the weapon, but bad for any other roller, so it's good that it's on this weapon. The kit is Splash Wall and Ink Vac, and I can commend Nintendo for this. They gave it a sub that can significantly help it. Yeah, a bomb like a burst bomb would have been amazing for it, but Splash Wall is still pretty good. The reason Splash Wall is so good for this weapon, and hear me out, I know it's a Splash Wall, I know it sucks, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, you can tell me all that. But Splash Wall is good for this because its vertical swing has such a long range. And I'm aware that the Splash Wall doesn't have enough health behind it to stand up to all the damage it's going to be taking, especially because you have a roller, and a lot of people are going to be targeting you. And I understand that. But it's still useful. I've had moments where I need to have myself protected, and that helps. The problem is, if you want to play this like every other roller, you can't. It's impossible without the splash wall. You basically have to hide behind the splash wall at all times if you're trying to kill anybody, because they're either going to outrange you and they're definitely going to outdamage you. That's just guaranteed. It does barely any damage, and you need to hide behind the splash wall like a scared cat just to get anything done. Ink vac is good for it because of the same reason. You have to hide behind it like a scared cat to get anything done. So yeah, splash wall, put it in front of you, try to kill somebody if you can. Ink vac, when somebody's coming up to you or you're trying to push to an enemy base, equip it, try to help have your teammates guard your back while you push forward, and you could shoot the bullet, the giant explosive bullet. You can hit enemies with it, and it can explode and hit enemies when you fire it. So keep that in mind, that you don't have to just aim the bullet at them. You can hit them instead of wasting the bullet in one spot. If the teammates are at the opposite side of the map, you can aim for the enemy that's coming towards you and aim for your enemy's teammates as well, so you can get both groups of people. The best gear for the big Swig roller is actually quite a few of them. You would think it's Ink Saber main, Ink Recovery up. It's not, because most of these weapons are super ink efficient. The 3 new weapons are pretty ink efficient. So I would suggest run speed up, because you have very limited mobility options. You have one, which is vertical swing, so running is always going to help as a second option. You're going to need probably quick respawn, because you're going to kill very, very, very rarely unless you're super good at it. You're going to need quick super jump so you can get back in the action faster. You need sub power up so your ink wall can last longer, because it doesn't last for very long as is. Plus, if people attack your ink wall, then you're really just asking for trouble. You're going to need sub resist up, only because people are going to throw bombs at you to get around the ink wall. People are going to throw trackers at you, etc., etc. So you're going to need it. And you're going to need comeback, which, if for those of you who don't know what comeback is after the player recovers from being killed, some abilities will be significantly increased for a while, which that's going to help you. And I know most rollers use Ninja Squid, but I don't think Ninja Squid is going to work well for this weapon, only because it is a ranged roller, and it's not like you can hide and instantly kill somebody with a roller or horizontal swing. So I wouldn't recommend Ninja Squid. Please don't use it. But instead of Ninja Squid, I can understand Stealth Jump and Drop Roller. More so Stealth Jump. I would do Drop Roller only if you don't have Stealth Jump. But Stealth Jump is a good investment. The best maps for the big Swig roller, as much as I like the map Brindwater Springs, I wouldn't suggest that. I know it's a new map. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good for Flounder Heights. But the best maps are going to be ones that have a big spawn area, because it's a very turf heavy weapon. The more you can get out of it, the better. So stuff like Scorch Gorge is going to definitely be good. Museum d'Alfonsino, that's a good stage. Hagglefish Market's going to be a decent stage. Not amazing, but decent. Hammerhead, I'd say, is a good stage for it. And Wahoo World, for sure, is a good stage. And it's only because it has a lot of turf that you can ink, so it lets you gather up points. But for kills, there's not really much that you can say. Like narrow areas, you could put down an ink wall and, kill people. So you could potentially use it well in like Hammerhead, like in the middle part. You could potentially use it well in Mincemeat. You could potentially use it well in Eeltail Alley and other stages that have those areas, but I don't think generally that it's meant for that. I don't think Nintendo intended it to be like that, and I don't think that it's going to be super successful if you try to do that. Anyways, ranked modes, like I said before, I just don't think it's going to be good for any of them. I really don't. I don't think it's going to be good for Rainmaker, because it won't be able to pop the bubble very fast. It does barely any damage. I don't think it's going to be good for Clam Blitz, because it doesn't have damage to kill enemies that are going to be protecting their clam basket. Sure, it has some speed, so that could help, but it's only going to be useful for when you're popping the claim basket. It's not going to be helpful for sustaining that. Splat zones, it's not going to be good. It doesn't paint very well unless you're rolling, but even then you're a big target. It's not going to be great for tower control because the roll doesn't kill anybody. So there's really nothing to cover. Ranked modes, I don't think it's going to be good at all. Anyways, that's about it that I have for the big Swig roller. My name is the Docter, and I will see you later. Bye.